try to take as many notes as possible because we have a bit to get through. So, how to average $180,000 with your line business in 2025. Now, this is the thing. For me, it was £147,000. But because you got the currency that keeps on changing, sometimes 180, sometimes 179, sometimes 188, but it was £147,000 for me. That's exactly how much it was. So in today's class, this is what we're going to get through. We're going to look into in learning how to manage your inventory like a pro. You learn how to pick your hero products that are actually going to sell. You learn how to create content that can convert, so you can convert your viewers into buyers. We'll look into a bit more into email and text marketing and why it actually works and how it can actually work for your business. You learn the secret to run profitable paid ads as well, and also learn how to build a website that actually sells. I need to let you know that at the end of this class, I'm going to introduce you to my later coaching program. Okay. So a little bit of housekeeping. So make sure you got some pen and paper with you. Do take note. If you have any questions, add them onto the chat, but this will not be monitored until right the end of the class. And just pop your questions right there in the chat. So now who's teaching you? Some of you know who I am, some of you don't. I'm gonna go through this thing as well. I don't really like the deal. I'll keep on talking about myself. But anyway, I am Adelaide Olu. I'm married. I've got two sets of twins that keep me really busy. I was born and raised in Italy. I live in the UK. My parents are Nigerians. My background is in UX design, digital marketing, e-commerce, branding, and I also got over 8 years of experience in coaching and helping out other individuals to start their online businesses. I started back in 2016 in really teaching people to use Instagram to actually run the business. But now I'm all about teaching people how to start their e-commerce businesses, how to scale, and how to grow the brand. So that is really my focus. I've also built my fashion brand from ground all the way up to 6 figures yearly, and I've helped a lot of other brands to actually reach 5 figures within a month. And I've also supported quite a few beginners to gain clarity and strategy, because a lot of people that are starting out, what they really need is to really understand how to go from A to be. So I've been able to help out a lot of these individuals to do that as well. So this is my brand called Afrofuge Apparel. This is actually my baby. Started back in 2019. So you can see that this is a real brand, and I'm not just going to talk you all based on theory. I'm talking about proven strategies that actually help me and my client to get the wanted result. So it's all proven and it works and it's all true. These are just few of my clients' reviews. Took out for you to see that that's actually possible and it really does work. People that have worked on a one-to-one basis, people that bought my classes, my ebooks, my bundles, and so on. I've been able to help out quite a few to actually gain success, clarity, strategy to go from A to B, either when it comes to finding the right supplier, starting the online brand, working on the content, and etc. So how to generate this figure in pounds? Let's get straight into it. First, I've got some questions for you guys. Can you relate to any of these? Do you post content on social media in the hope that something sticks, something actually works? Do you feel like you're not getting that much traffic onto your website? There is no engagement on social media content. You get no sales. You get no queries. You only got your family and friends that are buying your products. You're asking for people to give you reviews when they buy your product, but you don't get any replies. You don't really know how to maintain the interest of your audience, and you tend to make more money when you go to live pop-ups than actually selling online. And then on top of everything, you may still not have an email list. If you can relate to any of these bullet points, can you put number 1 in the chats, please? Yep, someone did. All right, so why does this happen? So the reason why a lot of brands are struggling online is because a lot of brands tend to sell a product based on what they like than what actually works. When you start your own online business, you need to conduct sort of research to understand what your competitors are currently doing. That's what we call competitive research. You want to first understand exactly what are they selling, how much are they selling it for, how well is it doing, and how can you try to replicate, not copy, or replicate this particular product within your own brand. People tend to start fashion brands because they either like shopping or they like fashion. There's not really any strong business objective behind it. And because we got very kind of weak motivations, you tend to kind of build a brand that is very hard for you to put forward, that doesn't really have a very clear mission, and customers don't tend to understand why you are trying to sell those products. So it feels like you're trying to get a sell, that you're actually trying to go at a deeper level, because your customers want to know what else you care about apart from selling products. So if you find yourself selecting product you believe are not really selling, it's because your initial motivation was not the right one, and now it has led you to set up a collection that may not really work for you. Also, you may have a very ineffective marketing strategist. You're spending a lot of time trying to do hard selling, where you're telling people, hey, buy this, buy that, shop right now, it's available, click the link on my bio, get in my store, and so on. That you're trying to show them why they should buy your products. We're selling clothing or shoes or accessories. Your videos and your pictures should speak for themselves. Should really just clearly explain what they should buy from you, what it's available, what are the pain points, how they can style it, why you got that right now, how do you get it from, and etc. If you spend so much time doing hard selling, where you're just kind of posting picture of your product without any module, does it look really polished? Does it look really nice? It's not even attractive enough for them to stop scrolling, look at it, engage with it, and then want to come on your Instagram page to check out what you got available, then that would be a lot more harder for you to sell, because that means that it's not even working organically. I always tell my students, before you do any paid advertisement, let's first try get some result organically. Because if you couldn't get any particular result by you just putting out there through organic marketing, then how likely are you for it to work by you putting money into it? Okay, so an effective market strategy is you having the wrong objective for your marketing. Your objective, obviously, it should be to sell, but you do not want to do it through hard selling. You want to do by you talking directly to the pain point of your customers, why they should buy it, and also we'll put a little bit more effort, because as I said in earlier on, a lot of people start the brand because they either like shopping or they like fashion. So now all the content is around that, but this should be like your a way for you to connect with potential people who you believe may like your brand. So the way you interact with them, the way you say things to them, the way you write your captions, the way you're going to create content within your own emails, it will have a very strong impact on them making decisions of your ideal customers. Also, your websites are confused instead of converting. So your website should be clearly explaining what you got available. It should be very tidy. It should be very clear when it comes to your product, your titles, your price, the way you're delivering your items, your return and exchange policies, your privacy policy, your terms of use. Everything should be very clearly stated. They wouldn't have to go browse a lot of pages to find this key information. If they have to, then already you're confusing the customer. It looks like your brand is a bit less trustworthy, like it's not really that credible, because I need to try so hard to find that information. And if you don't really spend enough time really adding a detailed description of your product that tells the customers, what you got available, the sizing of the modules, and the sizing available, your sizing chart, how they can wear it, how it can be looked after, how it can be washed, etc. That tells me that that brand did not spend enough time to look after their own website, which means they won't spend that much time looking after my order. So why will I trust a brand on the internet who did not go out of the way to make sure I will understand clearly what they're selling? Those are the kind of thought that goes through the mind of the customer. I remember, if a customer is following your brand and you're potentially selling African fashion clothing, then most likely they're following bigger brands. They're following bigger brands like maybe Dianu or Grassfield or Fure. And those brands, they've taken up a lot of space in their mind. They see them all the times. They come across as trustworthy. They go out of the way to make the customer feel safe to spend money with them. But if you do the bare minimum, like to say, well, it's a side hustle, it's not my main thing, I don't need to do all of this, then that will show in your sales. Because you're treating it as a side hustle. But if you actually treat it as your main thing, you're putting in the effort, you're showing up every day, And when I say showing up, I don't mean you're always social media for them to see what you do, but I mean you're always taking a step in bettering your brand. That could be you behind the scenes analyzing the data. Maybe you're trying to understand how many people have been to your site to the day before, or you're trying to understand how many people are added an item to a cart and did not complete the purchase. Every day, you're trying to take a step forward to see what is working, what is not working, and what should do more, and what should do less. So those are stuff you want to do every day with your brand. When people take to you and make £1 million within 5 years, is because the most likely that was the only thing they will focus on. And they quickly failed because there is no way that you're an entrepreneur and you're not making mistakes. But they made those mistakes quickly. They learned from them really quickly, and they try to move on, trying to apply, try to find a solution to it really quickly. When you have your online business, it's only going to fail if you stop trying. That's what's going to fail. If you always try your best to see what is working, what is not working, you do your research, or you pay a coach, or you buy a class, and etc., just to try to find that information, eventually you will find it. Now, once you find it, you got to execute it, because you got people who are spending loads of money on courses and don't do nada. You got people that don't buy anything at all, but always on Google finding information, and they find few things here and there. They learn bits that they can find on the iceberg. They try to act upon it. They see little result, but not as much as they will have if they're willing to actually invest in someone to learn high quality recommendations. Also, lack of focus on profitability. So I see a lot of brand new brand new fashion brands that are focusing getting the very pretty dress, the more cute outfit, the very nice boo boo that's out there, the very nice look to go to the spa and so on, which is okay to start with, but we're not trying to run a fashion blog. We're trying to run a fashion store, which means you got to make sure that you have in mind all the aspects of your business that will help you to get money. Now, what does that mean? What that means is that you, whatever you do should be very much about you focusing in getting as much money as you can from your sales. And the way you get money through your online store is by you implementing a sales funnel. So now your sales funnel essentially is the journey of your customers for when they learn about your brand until when they're ready to buy from you. And your sales funnel has different steps. We start from the very beginning when people see your content on social media until when they feel ready to join your email list or to check out your website. And then from those kind of connections, you start nurturing them, sending them emails to them, and then eventually they'll be ready to buy from you. But you can see this journey happens in different steps. Sometimes it could be more than that. Sometimes it could be less. It depends on how likely is your customer to need that product. It totally depends. As you probably already know, almost nobody wakes up in the morning and thinking, I want to buy the African fashion dress. But now your job is to make sure your customers always have you in their mind. And the way you will do that is by you building a brand online. And the best about online is that you can literally just be creating content, sending out emails all day long until they notice you and they act upon you. But don't do that onto people that you believe are not your ideal customers. Because if you do that, you only annoy them. And once they get annoyed, they will either unfollow you or unsubscribe from your email list or anything like that. So everything you do should be about you knowing who your customers are and you sending out content that is related to them. And you creating a site that is optimized for sales. So how do you do that? With high quality pictures, with high quality videos, with very clear descriptions, very easy usable website that is user friendly, so people don't really get confused. If you're like me and you're selling overseas, so I live in the UK, but I've got a lot of customers that are living in America. I have a currency converter on my website, so that kind of accommodate that kind of audience. And I also have a whole page where I got listed how I'm delivering products from the UK to the US, to Canada, and to Australia. So that is my effort to make my audience that lives outside this small island feel comfortable enough to shop with me. And then if I want to go the next level, what I will also do is to work with influencers that live in the US and they get to talk about how easy it was for them to see the product. So there's always something you can actually do to get yourself a bit more out there, as long as you are willing and you feel like this is your baby and you're trying to optimize it for profitability. Because that is all you want to do with your own online store. Optimize each step of your customer journey for profitability. So this is a diagram that I put together. That is what we tend to call the proven path of profitability. So these are different elements of the e-commerce business. We start with the product. Ideally, you done some sort of research that will tell you exactly what is working within your industry, what are people buying, what are people feeling comfortable to share on social media, how are people starting, and etc. So we want to see first what is in demand by your target audience. Once you understand what's in demand, you're gonna go straight into marketing. So that is really how you shop online. So I shop on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, doing emails and so on, because you know what's the product. So you can shop in multiple times. And when I say show up, I don't mean just having a picture with one picture of the module with a particular dress and leaving it there. You want to think about multiple ways to showcase that particular product. That could be on plus size modules, petite modules, tall modules, flow modules, black modules, mixed race modules, white modules, models with a afro, models with a weave. That could also be you looking into different settings, maybe on holiday, maybe by the beach, or for a city break, or by the mountains. Maybe it could be someone at a restaurant, maybe it could be someone at the spa, maybe it could be someone running errands. There are multiple settings. You could even start to launch a brand with only two products and just go out there when it comes to content. You still make it work because you're able to be versatile and to really allow people to see how versatile your product is and how they can easily wear it in different settings. But you have to be the one to think about exactly what kind of module or customer or target audience can really be relatable when it comes to looking into your marketing and your product. So your market could be done literally in any way. You can look into or only having offline ways of marketing. So through billboards, through the local magazine, radio ads, anything that doesn't involve the internet too can also work. I don't think it is as powerful nowadays as the power of the internet, because the internet can really help you to reach everybody within your environment as long as you have the funds to go for it. But you can also easily do that as well. It's totally up to you. When it comes to online, we already know we've got email marketing, we've got social media marketing, we've got influencers. We have multiple ways to reach our own ideal customers. Now, your website, as I mentioned, you want to make sure this is optimized for sales. You need to be user friendly. Your customers need to find what they're looking for within your own website. There is no point me seeing a very nice dress on your Instagram page and they're going to your site and you tell me it's sold out. Why is it still there? Why is it posting about it? It shouldn't be there. If it's sold out, you got two options. You either going to restock it, because obviously if it's working well, you should make sure you don't run out of it. But if you cannot find it again, either trying to find item that is somewhat similar to that, it could be different fabric or different style with the same fabric, or just completely get rid of it and then move on to something else. I don't want to be in a situation in which I'll be very annoyed as a customer when I see something that I like on social media. I'll go into the site and it's sold out, because it's telling me that you're unreliable. It's telling me that you don't really have keep an eye on your inventory, even on your website. It's telling me that you care about the wrong things within your business, because why is it important for you to let the audience know something is sold out and that you still do not have it available? Or else on your site, you got the option for people to click on to say that they want it back, like something like a wish list. So you can actually do that. If you want to notify your audience that you're currently trying to restock your product and you let them know when it's available, you can add the wish list option. They click on it, and when you got it available and you finally restock your store, they're going to receive an automatic email that tells them, hey, this product is currently available again. Come and get it right now. That is the only situation in which I'm expected to have them on the site. But if that's not the case, if you do not have the product anymore available and you can't restock it and so on, then that should come off your social media and also your website. Now, once we have the website in place and the product and the marketing methodologies, we're going to move on to sales. Because obviously, if you have those three in place, you can start selling your product. But that is down to how you build trust and credibility. As I mentioned, your customer will buy from you if they trust you. They will trust you if you do not confuse them. They will trust you if you have spent enough time to create the right content that is efficient, that's talking directly to the pain point of your customers. Now, the pain point of your customer doesn't always have to be about looking nice or dressing comfortably. Your pain points could be different. It could be literally anything. And the way you want to talk about is by you making sure you have a clear idea on your branding identity. Your branding identity, your vision, and whatever it is that you believe is important for your brand should be showcased within your content, and it should make it easier for your customer to identify themselves with your brand. Because if you don't do that, the sales will be hard to get to you. A customer doesn't buy from a brand that they feel like is not relatable to them. If you tell me that they sell to everybody, then essentially you're selling to nobody. You need to be very clear, very specific on who is your customer. Who are you trying to sell to? Why would they want to buy those products from you? Why would they want to get that product from you? And then being able to build trust of that. Because sometimes being a business owner feels a bit repetitive because you're trying to say the same thing over and over again. But when you feel in that situation, just know you do the right thing. Because if you were trying to switch it up or you sell it once in a while, then most likely you're not doing the right thing. If you're always feeling the need to talk about your branding story, then you're doing the right thing you're doing because you know you're getting new followers every day. And these followers don't know who you are yet. Yeah, they could scroll down the page, but it definitely helps to see new piece of content with that same information again. And then once you start getting sales and you have finally won the trust and credibility of your customers through your website, your marketing, and your product, you can start scaling. When you're scaling, we're not only trying to increase the price of the product by more inventory, we're trying to really improve the operation of your business. We're trying to really smoothen up those operations. That may mean you have to hire someone in-house, someone to try to look after your website settings or your social media, or someone to go to the post office to send out the parcels, or someone to it could be literally an aspect of your business. But whatever you think that's going to help you to gain more time for yourself so you can focus on revenue activities, then you know you're actually scaling. When we're scaling, we're trying to go from $10,000 per month to $12,000 and then to $14,000. I'll be a scam if I say to you can go from 10,000 to 50,000 within a month. Because that's impossible. Number one, your inventory to make sense. If you got only enough inventory to sell $10,000 a stock, there wouldn't be any way you get to $50,000 stock. You need to first set that out, then collect your payout, then contact your manufacturer, order new stuff, wait for it to get to you, potentially could do have a quick photo shoot, and then launch the product, and then you start selling again. So as you can see, it's the process really. But scaling does happen as a result of you analyzing the operation of your business to spot any potential gaps and to see what can you do to improve the profitability and to profitability, sorry, and to make it easier for your products to be sold to your audience. So how are you going to reach a wider audience? How are you going to make sure you have enough stock to reach the wider audience? What else can you do? So most likely you may need to look into increase your marketing team because you need more people to actively work in with your customers. At one point, you may get to that stage where you got one person to only focus on email marketing, one person to only focus on the text marketing, one person to only focus on the website, social media, influencer marketing, radios, billboards, and etc. So that is what it's like to scale your business operations. So now, step one, you need to learn. That is very important. You need to really learn how to manage inventory like a pro. Because if you're not doing that, then you're gonna end up in having loads of out of stock products, annoyed customers who are going to follow you, unsubscribe from your email list, and feel like you don't even understand what are the issues. So track inventory to avoid overspending. That's important. And also track inventory to avoid getting sales for stuff that you don't have. Trust me, you don't want to be going through that. Okay. Make sure you also identify your best selling items. So the way you do that is by obviously you spotting the one that sells quickly and in multiple sizes. Also reduce waste by focusing on demand. So I wouldn't just create a collection based on what I like. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I want to have like 10, 12 pieces. If you're just starting out, 6 pieces more than enough. 6 pieces, 2 colors per piece does the job just fine. So just focusing really what is working within your industry or within your own brand. Now, the one about your industry that what you're gonna do, you obviously go out there, conduct your own competitors research, try and see what are they sell, what are the best selling products, what are people say about those best selling products, read the reviews, read the comment, go through the underneath the post of what you feel is performing the best on the social media. And that'll give a very good idea of what's working for them or what's not working for them and what are the customers saying about them. Okay. So here is the list of some key questions that I believe you should always keep in mind when you're trying to understand how to manage your inventory. So, what are your best selling products and why? So, how do you identify best selling products? Is by you looking at what is selling out in most sizes and at a quicker rate. The second you launch it out there, how quickly are you to get sell for that product? Obviously, you got other factors around that because sometimes down to who's available social media, is down to who's currently online and so on. But still, it's not really hard to spot a best selling product. Now, also, which items have the highest profit margin? This is key to keep your brand running. Because if you're running a brand where you got only 10 or 50% profit margin, then that would be really hard for you to scale. You want really healthy profit margins. You want something like at least 30 or 40%. That's when you know you're actually getting somewhere with it. Even 20%, 25% is actually okay. Because that means for every $100 that you're currently selling, you make it £25 on top of that. That's cool. That's totally cool. But if you're less than that, it'll be really pricey because you still can spend money on marketing, on your website, on modules, photo shoots, miscellaneous, and etc. So the more, the better. So ask yourself, which items have you been able to create a high, healthy profit margin? Are there any slow moving products that need promotion or clearance? Now, with slow moving products, you can tell because they're the ones that the people are just not really effing with. Okay, people that not custom products that are not getting any reviews, they're not getting any sales, and so on. What I do with those is that I tend to put them on promotion or on clearance, and if those two don't work, they start going out as presents to customers. Something like, "Hey, thank you for your order. Here's a small present because I want to get rid of it." I don't believe in keeping inventory in my at my house for years and years and years and years and years. I believe in it to go because the inventory literally just kind of money that'll be stashed out altogether. But the ones that I usually give away are things that are very small, that are no more than £1 or £2. Products like socks, maybe, or necklaces, or earrings, things that are not really my best selling products, and they're very slow, and things that I don't really have any strong impact on my revenue anyway. When I first buy those products, I'm thinking in my head, I want to complement the order of my customers. Okay, so the way that I buy those products, that I try to really focus on buying products to make sure they are shopping for the whole outfit when they come to my store. And then that also mean having to add some earrings and necklace and bonnet and head wrap, socks, and so on. But when I start selling, I can easily see what's working, what's not working. And then I make more decisions based on that. So again, the power of you being able to analyze your data so you understand what is working and what is not working. Now, how frequently should I reorder stock to avoid overstocking or stock out? This is a dynamic that you will find out yourself as you're seeing your product being sold out and you see your product being restocked. You don't want to be overstocking too quickly, and you don't want to be out of stock for too long. So you be the one to find the right dynamic around that. It depends on how many items you're currently selling. It depends on your audience. It depends on the type of customer that you have. It depends on the type of business and so on. Do I have a system in place to track inventory levels in real time? I use Shopify. Shopify is an amazing platform. It's very easy. When I go in there, I just add the items that are currently that I have available, add the prices, the size, and so on. I leave it all there, and then it does the ABC analysis. So the ABC analysis tells you which one of products are doing better and which are not really doing so well. So the ones that are doing better are the A or B products, the top basically. The ones that are not doing really well are like C, D, E, F. Now, with the one that I'm doing really well, I get to choose what to do with them. Maybe I want to put them promotion or on clearance. Maybe I want to try to style it even better so I can try to re-attract my orders to it. It's totally up to me, but it gives me a very clear idea of what is working, what's not working, what's available, what's not available, and how soon should I restock some products. Last question you want to ask yourself is, am I leveraging data to predict future demand? This is key because when you're running your online business, you're making decisions that are very informed and they're not based on random facts, but only based on proven data. Your data will never lie to you because it's literally what is happening within your own business. Data will tell you, this one is working, that's not working, that's selling, that's not selling. People are funding this more than anything else. People are coming from the organic search. People are Googling these words within your website. So your data tells you exactly what you need about your business. Whether it's failing or it's not failing, your data will tell you very clearly what's happening within your own brand. And that's what I believe is very important, to make sure you use that data to understand what is working and what is not working within your own brand. Step 2 is for you to for you to identify your product. Now, your products are very important because when you know exactly what's working within your brand, when you know exactly what people are buying the most, it makes life so much easier. Now, your products tend to solve a very clear problem for your audience. Obviously, it has an high demand with great margins. So people want it and you make a good amount of money for each product that you sell because you were smart enough to price it in the right manner. And it's also very easy to promote and very easy to scale. So essentially, your product is your best-selling, high-demand item that represents your brand. And it solves a very specific problem and fulfills a very strong desire, even within fashion. Because any online business that we're starting is essentially to solve a particular problem for our own ideal customers. It's very ideal for you to focus on your hero product because you can actually build the brand recognition and customer loyalty based on that. For example, back in 2021, Ofure actually started selling my type of blazers. I'm just gonna say out there very quickly. And then when that happened, I contacted them. But before that happened, I wasn't aware of it. I was getting a lot of messages from our Afrofusion customer telling me, "Oh, have you seen Ofure? They copy your blazers, they copy your trousers." And I was like, "What? What's going on?" And then I went there. Lord and behold, they literally copied the whole designs. They added like a belt to it to make it a bit different. So that was the power of me identifying my hero product and my brand being known for my hero product, because I knew it was my best selling product. I knew it was solving a particular problem. People loved it. It was on high demand. It had a very healthy profit margin, and it was driving all the traffic straight away onto my store. If I had a picture on my social media on platform, so let's on Instagram, I've got a picture of my hero product on two modules, so a plus size module and a petite size module. I know for the fact those pictures are going to drive a lot of traffic to my own store. And then once they're on my own store, I created a pathway that somehow really guides people to go and check out even older products. That's what I did. So that is the power you have with a particular product that you know it will always attract people back onto your own store. Now, if you want to identify your own hero product, what you want to do is to first look for items with consistent sales and positive reviews. So that's what you want to do when you want to research around your other competitors. Look for those items that you believe are the best sellers and have a load of good positive reviews. That is not hard to spot. Then trying to analyze the ideal profit margin to ensure you got a high return on investment. How do you do that? You're gonna get some of those pictures, show it to your manufacturer, be like, hey, can you do something with different fabric? Can you do something similar? Try to obviously add something different to it. Could be in the shoulders, could be in the seam, could be in the belt, could be in the bottom, could be anything. But try to understand the way that your vendor can actually do this. Ask them for how much they want to do it. And depending on what price that they're giving you, you're gonna go back into your competitors and see how much they sign it for and see if it makes sense. If it doesn't, look for another vendor. You don't have to use only one person because you feel like you're in debt to them. No, this is a business. It's not emotional. It's logical. We make decisions pretty much based around profitability and making sure that this brand can actually last for a long time. So, and also do choose product that got a bit of brand appeal, product that you believe that when people see, they can tell, oh, that is from your brand. That is from the particular brand. Okay. So once you have your hero product, what you want to do is to make sure you keep featuring the product on your homepage and also social media. Talk about it. Let people see it, because when they see it, you know it does well. You know people like the product, and you know it's going to attract people back into your store. Basically, that is really all you have to do, and create bundles or upsell opportunities around it. You can use that as a centerpiece for paid ads and email campaigns. You can just put it right there on top of the image. You may not have it available at this present time, but you can just say it's coming back. This is the button for them to receive an email that will let them know when it's currently available again on stock. But hero products can be very, very powerful. I have about 4 hero products, and they're basically two styles of the same product. That's what they are in different fabrics. So it's either have one or the other, and they always attract traffic to my store. As a matter of fact, even though I talk about a lot of paid ads, you can have a very successful brand without paid ads, but you will need a very strong brand identity, and that is also be tied down to your own hero product. It is because you will use that image, use those visuals to keep on showcasing clearly what you're currently available, to keep on talking about your brand, why you started it, the motivations, where they can find your product, and blah blah blah. Now, step 3, the art of conversion content. Now, content is king, and now is more than ever. Content is the currency of any online business. Whether you're selling services, you're selling products, you're selling physical products, digital products, everything can happen because you got content. Now, within your content, what you want to do is to speak directly to your audience pain point. That is exactly what you want to be doing with your content. Because if you don't do that, people will not know you're talking to them and they just scroll past. Showcase testimonials and social proof. That is what you also want to be doing with your content. So let people see that other people be liking your product and they're happy and they're satisfied and this and that. Use clear call to action for people to understand what to do with your content. So when you write your caption for your content, are you telling them about your product or you tell about a particular set and stuff like that? Right at the end, there should be something that says something like comment the words skirt to get the right link, or let me know in the comment box what you think of this. Do you agree with this piece of content? Do you like this product? Do you like this dress? Whatever the case is, you want to try to always guide your audience to complete a particular action. That's what you want to do. And that is very, very powerful within your content. And remember, there'll be different type of content that you are going to be using to showcase your brand online, depending on the objective. Let's look into it a little bit more. So you will have different objectives. So this one here are your business objective. You go grow the brand, you go turn the customer into advocates, drive leads and sales, improve customer retention. Okay, so these are the main objective. Depending on your objective, you have different goal. And depending on this particular tool, you got metrics to analyze how well you're performing the objective, and you got a list of content ideas. This image is actually a screenshot from my older masterclass that I did back in the days, and it was all about social media. So, and that's why you cannot really have that in here. But I digress. So, with an objective, grow the brand. That's what you're trying to do. So, how are you going to do that? But you're focusing on awareness. So, how are you going to know whether you've been able to create the right content to get more followers or more saves? So, for example, these are the metrics to get more followers, more shares, or more saves. And the content for you to grow your brand is you having picture of yourself as a founder, or you wearing an item from your product. You can talk about the whole collections, behind the scenes, product pictures. So content that can really help people to see the brand for what is it. So who founded the brand, what they're selling, what they're behind the scenes, what's important to them, and etc. Then you have content that can turn customers into advocates. So when someone is an advocate, they're not buyers just yet, but they're people that truly believe in your business, and eventually they'll become your advocate. So the goal for that particular objective is for you to have a lot more engagement. And the way you would do that is by you making sure you can attract people that can leave comments, that can leave likes and mentions. So here you got like a whole list of content ideas. We got memes, screenshot of TV shows. So sometimes if you're watching reels, you get like an audio of of a particular show or movie that your customer can actually relate to, for example. Movies that they can relate to, celebrities, pictures, gifts, tweets, funny pictures with your product, quotes, and etc. So then we have a new objective, which is for you to drive leads and sales. This is key. This is very important because if you're doing all that work and still getting sales, then that becomes a very expensive hobby. I wouldn't want that to happen. So driving leads and sales essentially is you focusing on conversions. So how do you do that? By you want to make sure you're creating content to really build more trust and credibility. So that's when you have more reviews, more testimonials. You got how-to videos. You got user-generated content. You got unboxing videos, lifestyle pictures, and etc. So those are examples if you having content that's going to get people to just kind of be moved from leads to sales, and then you're essentially getting people to come to your website to send out to your email list and to just kind of increase your revenue in general. And then the last one is to improve customer retention. So your goal are your consumers for you to actually get more feedback on customer retention. That's really is the goal. So you're trying to do about you sharing testimonials because us human beings, we copy other people. If we see someone saying, "Oh, this dress was so lovely," and we thought the same thing about that dress, but we still haven't put it up there, we'll go there and write it. We're like, "Oh yes, I agree. I love the dress too. It looks really nice on me." We'll go there and write exactly the same thing about it. Okay. And also you got social media and also sentiments, emotions. Emotion really improve customer retention. So also charity cause, that's very big, especially within the African fashion industry. If you're currently support a particular institution back in Africa for whatever reason, it's good for you to make sure to talk about it because you're able to really get more trust, you get more followers, you get more sales, and you get more people that actually want to follow you because they want to be part of your journey. And they like the fact that you're not focusing only making money, but you're also kind of trying to add your own good bit to the word. So if you don't have any African culture, any African related charity cause, then you should definitely go for it. I'm gonna sip some water when I'm coming, guys. Now, step 4, building relationship that actually converts. Now, this is what I call by email and text marketing. This is so important because people don't realize, but email marketing is the number one way for you to actually attract people onto your own brands. We can be here on Facebook, on TikTok, all day long, creating content, so on. But if you do not have a way to attract these individuals onto your own email list, which means you can still talk to them at any time of the day. You can send emails to them telling you, listen, I like your brand enough to leave my email address. Just send out whatever you want to send out in it. So it really saddening to find out that people are still not really believing it. But email test marketing will change your business. Yes, change my business for sure. So how do you want to use it? You want to look into learning how to automate welcome sequences, use segmentation to personalize offers, and send consistent value-packed emails and text. Now, what does that mean? Now, here, guys, we got a screenshot of my current of the dashboard of my segmentations. So I have created different segmentations based on different properties of my customers. What does that mean? It means that I looked at my customer and I tried to analyze who these people are, my customers, who they are, where they're located, what's important to them, and so on. And depending on what kind of segmentation I put in as a condition, I send out emails to each of these segmentations. Even if it's something as small as 20 people, I still send out that emails. Now, how does it work? Let me just go back onto my own clavier so you guys can see it in real life as I'm using it. Just bear with me. Mm. Um, 1 second, guys. Aha, okay, I think here we are. I'm gonna share my screen again now. Okay, so this is the back end of my Klaviyo platform, which is what I use to collect the email addresses. So here I created about 20 or maybe 30 different segmentations. I think it was about sometime last week. I was just going in there and I was trying to create a new segmentation because I'm in the process of launching my brand. So what I want to show you in here, guys, is that I have different ones for each particular customer. Even though these are really small group of people, But this is what you realize. You're more likely to get sales or even engagement from people. You send out an email that is related to them. For example, I'm sure you signed up to multiple emails sequences. And if you receive an email that you feel is not related to you, you may get annoyed, you may unsubscribe, and then not ever engage with that brand again. And that is the same thing happen with everyone, every individual out there that decide to join an email list. They will get easily annoyed if they sent out any piece of information that's got nothing to do with them. So now, why is it that I'm saying this to you? Because I wanted to read that emails can actually be really powerful as long as using the right way. Like for example, here I got a sentence that says addressing prospects. So what does that mean? So these are people in these past few days that are showing me they like some dresses, but they're not will entirely show on whether they want to buy it or not. Now, how do I do that? Because I run a report. I want to run the particular report. It showed me very clearly exactly what kind of what kind of pages they view within my website. So this is the particular condition that I put in there. They started to check out at least once over time for any of these items. They did not place any order at all, but I know I'll send out more email to them to make sure they eventually get to place an order. That's essentially really how it goes, pretty much. And then here, for example, you got people that are both tops and blouses. So when I got new arrivals that are tops and blouses, I was emailing to them and no one else's. Here I got people that are both dresses. So if I got any new arrivals that are dresses, they will get it. Or if I want to if I want to design a new dress, I want to make sure it's something that they actually like, I could send to them an email say, hey, look at this one. I'm thinking to send this for production. What do you think? Would you wear this or not? Because I know they are obviously fans of buying my dresses. Or for example, here we got people that bought pants or trousers. So that is that is all they want to buy, pants and trousers. So I want to ask them now, what kind of offer do you like to shop? What else would you buy it? And if I got a new pants or trousers, I would definitely show it to them. Now, you also got other people who are not entirely defined by what they're buying, but they're defined by the kind of activity they currently have when they're on the website. For example, we have people that so VIP people that are spent over £400 on my store. So these individuals are very special to me, and I do not want to annoy them. Okay, the people that I know that if I have anything new coming up, they'll buy straight away. If I want to get the feedback or anything at my store, they will let me know. They'll be happy to share with me. The people that I know, they also told the family and friends about my store, so they really are VIP. If I got any special discount, any special code, I share it with them straight away because they prove themselves to be indeed fans of Average Apparel. So those are the kind of things they want to keep in mind when you're thinking on how to send out emails to your own individuals. For example, here we got repeat buyers. I want to repeat and referring to at least 3 times. Here we got people that have viewed bonnets or head wrap, for example. We got people that subscribed in the last 30 days but did not make a purchase. People that subscribed in the last 60 days but did not make a purchase. So as you can see, you really have loads of people that you can do sending out emails to based on the properties. For example, these guys here that I'll join my email but they not buy anything. I could just be like, hey, I've seen you that you joined my email list. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. But I see you still haven't bought anything just yet. How about you get this £15 discount code and make the most out of it? It's gonna expire in about 2 days or 48 hours because obviously you want to add a sense of urgency within your own offers. So this is how I'm thinking about my email list. And this is how I want to show my text list, because your email list is very powerful, but your text list is even more powerful because your text list, because your text list, the way it works is that you will essentially sending out text messages to people that have given their own email addresses, and these people, they essentially want to be able to still be in touch with you enough for them to allow you to send out text messages to them. So when I send a text message, I tend to get even a higher conversion rate than emails, but I can't send out too many text messages because it can get a bit too much. However, Fashion Nova, I joined their own email and their own text list. They send me an email at least 2 or 3 times a day. And on top of that, they send me a text message at least once or twice a day. So They are one of the number one fashion brands online nowadays, global fashion brands. So obviously, they're an example that it shows you text marketing and email marketing does really well. For me, even about 30% of my final revenue, being able to use email marketing as a way for me to be in touch with my audience, letting them know about what I've got available. So you got two type of email to send out. You're sending out flows and campaigns. The campaigns are the one that you send out when you have a new announcement, if you have a new arrival, something new has happened, etc. Now your flows are the one that you set up in you set up initially, and they're like a series of emails that get sent out automatically to the audience based on how you segmented the audience. So, for example, an abandoned cart email series, that's the flow, because it gets triggered when someone adds an item to the cart and do not complete the order. So when they add that to the cart, they must have initiated the payment process by adding the email addresses, but then somehow they didn't finish it. So now what you want to do is to find a way to still attract those individuals back onto your own store and get them to finish that purchase. And the way you would do that is by you sending out emails, by you setting up email sequences for these to these individuals. Then step 5, you want to also look into learning how to run profitable paid ads. Now, this is the thing. You don't really have to. Okay. I'm not gonna say to you go straight to spending loads of $1,000 in paid ads. However, they do help in improving your own ability to support your revenue. They definitely do help. And when you want a profitable paid ads, you're not just doing just to get sales. I also want ads to generate leads, for example. So if I want to make sure I can actually increase the number of individuals in my email list, I can easily run ads, spend about $5 a day, and I'm getting about 10 people per day by doing that. So I'm just kind of spending money in getting people to come and join my email list. And that's because each person in my email list is worth $42. So if I'm spending $10 and I'm getting back about let me see, I'll get 10 people, five, and get about 20 people, then I know it's super duper worth it. But do keep in mind the data average, the average data, sorry, for email marketing. So when it comes to opening rate, they average about 20%. So anything more than that, you're doing great. Your click rate through is between 1 to 3%. So those are the main numbers to keep in mind. So anything more than that, you're definitely doing really well. When you have a small email list, it can be hard to turn them into buyers, but try to really personalize their own experience by segmenting who they are based on their own activities. And that makes it a lot more easier for you to come across as being relatable. People don't tend to buy from emails if they feel that the email has been sent out as one broadcast to everybody, and the business did not take the time to personalize the experience for whoever's reading it. So with the paid ads, what you want to do is target your audience. So obviously by this time, you have a clear idea on who's your customer. So what are they? Where they're located? What are they shopping? What do they like? What they interest? Because your Facebook ads is very much based on the interest of your audience. Also, you need to test the different types of creatives and copy. I always run A/B tests. So A/B testing is the process of you understanding which variables is working best for you. So I run A/B testing when it comes to email. So I could send out the same email with two different subject lines just to see which one is more likely to be opened. You could also be running Facebook ads with the hope that you will see which which ad is doing better. So maybe it's the image that is separate, is different, or maybe it's what they're clicking through that is not what they want to be seeing. It could literally just be anything, but those are different ways for you to be testing. But for you to be testing exactly different type of creatives and copy. Also, track your return on investment and scale what works. So this is very important because if you're scaling a business and you're scaling based on what you think you like to be scaled, then that's not really a smart decision. But everything you do within your own business should be very much a result of a well-informed decision that you have obtained by studying your own data. Because within business, the back end, whatever you do, it's all around your data. So you need to track your return on investment. For example, there's no point running an ad that costs you, I don't know, $25, and then for you to actually get a purchase, you gotta spend $24. That's a loss of £1 basically. So always track return on investment. Don't just say, oh, at least I got a sale, I can live with it. Make sure that sale that you're worth your money. Because if that sale is less, is not enough for you to run your brand or for you to even feed yourself, then there's pretty much no point. Also, number six, building a website that actually sells. Your website as a salesman. Now, your site needs to be simple, clean design. There should be clear product descriptions and easy checkout processes. Now, when I come to your site, I want you to know that the first impression really matters, which is why there should be a very easy, a very clean and professional design the second I land onto your own homepage. You also need to make sure that the pages are fast loading and the speed of your mobile optimization is not reduced. Nowadays, everything we look as done on our mobiles. So whether we're using a smartphone or a tablet, everything's very much about mobile optimization. You want to try to really improve the overall experience of your own customers by checking out your website on the phone. If it's not clear, or if you cannot see what you're looking for, or if customer are struggling to understand the nature of that picture, then you know you do something wrong. Also, your website should be easy to navigate. So make sure you're organizing your categories in a logical manner. So if you're selling clothes like I am selling, the logical thing to do is for you to put the dresses in one corner, the skirt in one corner, in one corner, the shoes in one corner, and etc. So that is you understanding the categories of your product and making sure these are being placed logically. Also, do use a simple menu with very clear labels. That also helps. So the menus are the ones that you will see on the homepage right at the top, and it helps the people to just guide themselves so that they know the way around the website. When it comes to product pages, you want to make sure you got high quality images from multiple angles. I am always getting about 10 pictures for each product with the same module, or maybe with about two modules, should I say. Now, why is it that I do that? Because I realize people want to know exactly what something looks like on them properly. When the pictures are not clear or it's confusing or it doesn't show them the back or the side, people are not going to buy it. I learned it the hard way. So because of that, I like to make sure that I definitely have pictures that showcase the whole outfit from top, from the bottom, the sides, the back, on tall models, on tiny models, and etc. Also, you will need a well-detailed description focusing on the benefit, not just features. So let's say you're selling a blazer and you want to tell your customer that you now have another pocket on the inside of the blazer. There's no point you just saying internal pocket for comfort. You could just say, hey, we now have an extra pocket on the inside. It's going to make your life so much easier, sis. Blah 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 blah. So as you can see, I'm just talking about the benefits here, not only the features of that particular blazer. And you also want to make sure you include the reviews and testimonials for social proof. So from the very beginning, I started annoying my friends and family to send to me reviews because I was like, yo, I need these things so people can actually see that I'm trustworthy and I am reliable. So reviews are very, very important for social proof more than anything else, especially if you have any UGC, any user generated content. That is when you got to make sure that you got very strong reviews to somehow back up what you are claiming and what you're trying to sell. Then your site should be a streamlined the checkout process. Should be very easy for the people to check out. I've seen sites where everything is so complicated. There's like multiple pages, and then eventually they don't end up in even making any sense of it. Okay. So what does that mean? Make sure you're somehow reducing the steps to complete the purchase. So if you want to buy from you, let them buy straight away in one go, but just for you, by just showcasing how they can pay, and boom, that's basically that's good to go. If you're able to also implement those interest-free ways to pay, like Klarna, ClearPay, Afterpay, and so on, then that also help you to really increase your own credibility as well a lot. Also, do add some trust badges. So this is about trust badges. I have them as well, but it's a bit of love and hate relationship because sometimes I don't really feel the need of them and I take them off. But then when I do take them off and I see people asking me whether we are legitimate or not. So I would say do add trust badges. So you can just go on Shopify, download the app that says trust badges, and then you have a whole list of a whole list of badges for you to choose from. Then on the website, make sure you're always adding a call to action. So you want to make sure you use a very clear and persuasive call to action. Things like add to cart, buy now, available for the next 2 days, sales ending in 48 hours. Those are all the call to actions that you want to add onto your own website. And also make sure you added some urgency triggers, such as like only 3 left in stock. I'm not going to restart this again. It's coming to an end and blah blah blah. Then display then you want to make sure they also got very very clear privacy policy pages on your store, which is very important, and the terms of operations page, delivery, exchange, and things of that nature. Also, do include an about us page to share your story and your values. So when you go about this page, you are really allowing people to just get to know you. Now, wow, I done a lot of talking, guys. Did you learn something new? If you did, type the word wow in the chat. Wow, wow. Oh God, the camera is not on. I didn't realize. My bad. I'm back. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, I see some questions, guys. So let me answer this question right now. Aside from Shopify, are there other tools that you use to obtain data insights and conduct market research, competitive analysis? So, when it comes to data insights, Shopify is number one because it helps me to really understand what's working within my store. I can see clearly what people are doing. I can track their own activities. I can track who's adding to the cart, what they're adding, what people are adding to the search bar, what are people refunding, the prices, what time of the day they're buying, etc. So Shopify can we do all the work for you. To actually research other competitors, I do it very manually because I got a bit of a background in UX research, market research. I just go on to the other brands pages directly. I go through the comments, I go through the views on the site, I go through the Facebook pages. I try to really compare the number of people that are saying they want one thing compared to the other one because you can see a lot, but just you go through their own website and their own social media accounts. I take it from there really. Once you contacted Fury about your product, what did they do? Lady got back to me. She said to me that in African fashion, people can just copy their own designs and just kind of use that fabric. I just kind of thought it wasn't really worth my time. I just kind of left it there. I said to myself that once I have a bit more cash, I would love to start patenting some of my designs because the truth is that everybody is copying each other within the American fashion industry. I guess I was kind of just really hurt because the cut of the blazer and the trouser would just literally the same. But when she said that, I just thought to myself, you know what, this is probably really how most people are actually thinking. And while this is clearly part of my own brand story, I don't think I'm even in the position to actually really contest the way I would love to contest it. I made a big fuss about it. It was on my social media and it was on the website and so on. But I just thought I'll leave it there. I'm planning to go back to those strategies this year. I don't care what happens as a result of that. But it's just one of those things where you just have to just kind of just leave it and just focus on what I think is important to you. At that time, I just thought I want to just kind of really focus in, keep running and keep and growing my brand and just let people do what they want to do. Which is what I did basically. Why Klaviyo and not MailChimp or another alternative? Klaviyo is a very powerful e-marketing software. I think it is number one for e-commerces because the segmentation bit, the audience bit is a lot more detailed, a lot more than MailChimp. MailChimp is okay as a beginner, but it's not as powerful as Klaviyo. With MailChimp, you can segment your audience, but not as well as Klaviyo. Klaviyo, you can set out over 50 flows for each activity that customer does. MailChimp, you can't really do that. Also, MailChimp is a lot more rigid when it comes to templates, when it comes to how you are arranging the content in the emails, when it comes to how you're trying to add the product and so on. With Klaviyo, you really have the power to just go all out. Also, with Klaviyo, you have the way you have the opportunity to personalize your content in a way that the customer can actually tell you're talking to them. Because if I send you an email with your name on it, you're more likely to open that email. But with MailChimp, apart from the email option, I can't personalize it in any other way. With Klaviyo, I can use date of birth, for example. I can use the location to find out where they're located. I can track how many times they're clicking on a particular page within Shopify. Because now I was trying to show, but it wasn't really working. But with Klaviyo, I am able to check each email address, find out when last they were on the website, find out what they've done on the website, find out what they viewed, find out what they added to the cart. So I can find out so much information by just going through my own Klaviyo account. But with MailChimp, I do not have that much control. I do not have that much possibility to learn so much about my customers. And then also with Klaviyo, I'm saving a lot of money on other apps because you can also send out the text with Klaviyo. But if I use MailChimp, I wouldn't be able to still use that platform to send out text messages. I will have to go back on Shopify, download an app, pay a separate fee for the monthly basis, increase my own expenses, and then not having a more streamlined system for my communication within the audience. But with Klaviyo, I can do all of that, and it makes my life so much easier. Also, in the listen segment, did you say that you create a segment or was that automated? I did it myself. So at the beginning, there's like a very quick video training that they put in there from YouTube where they said how to create your own segment. And then once I understood how to do it, I just said to myself, what I want to know about these customers. I don't want to do it myself. I want to find out about what they're shopping, whether they're buying it, and etc. All these different properties of the customers that you believe will help you to make better buying decisions. So they show you quickly how to do one of those, and then you can just go straight into creating other ones based on what you've learned. But they don't come automated in there. No, they don't. I hope that answer. We will get out of this recording, please. A lot of content to listen to again. I had to go, but this was helpful. Thank you. You're welcome, D. Thank you for coming, by the way. This was insightful, Adelaide. Thank you. Thank you for answering my questions, Adelaide. You're welcome, Alith. I hope you're feeling better now. You got your voice back. So you will get the recording, but not right now. You will definitely get it. Okay, cool. Let's just kind of continue with the recap of what we spoke about today. So here's a very quick recap on this class today. You will need to learn how to manage your inventory in the right manner. That will mean you need to optimize your stock levels and focus on demand-driven decisions. Because we're not trying to run a charity organization here, we're trying to run a business. It's not a hobby, it's actually supposed to be another streams of income that could potentially replace your 9 to 5 if you're doing the right way. Those people that are doing the right way most of the time because they actually spend the time to really analyze the data. And before they did that, they've done their market research to understand what's working and what is not working, what kind of products they want to be selling, what kind of tools are available for them to make the most out of their own business, what kind of trend and seasons are they keeping in mind to make the most out of this. Then your hero product. Identify and market your best sellers effectively at all times in your emails, on social media, in your ads, influencer marketing. You do it at all times. I work a lot with influencers. I do a mixture between gifted collaborations and paid collaboration, but to be fair, I do a lot more gifted collaborations. The way I do that, I send to them my best sellers. Basically, I'm just like, you know what, these are doing well. You can look into some of these ones. But then again, most of the time, I try to kind of ask them what they want to wear for my store so they can pick something that is a little bit more aligned with what they like to wear. So their own followers can just kind of easily see it and feel like it's she bought it and actually getting it sent to them directly. Then content that sells. Craft messages that speak directly to your audience needs. Super duper important. Make sure you're crafting messages that speak directly to your audience needs, because if you're just crafting messages that you feel like customers are not really willing to listen to, or you're trying to just talk about a pain point that's not relatable to them, then there's no point. Email and text marketing. Build relationships and drive sales through automation. This is super duper important, because if you're not able to do that, you will need to spend more time in trying to understand how to create the content, how to create the emails, how to keep on getting new customers. That will be a lot more expensive, and it also takes you a lot more time. You can build your business based on returning customers, people that buy from you 2, 3, 4, 5 times. When you're trying to always kind of capture the next sale, you spend a lot more money, a lot more time, because you spend a lot of time trying to get in trying to gain the trust, in trying to gain their own time, in trying to make sure they can see you as you being a reliable, legitimate business. But when you're focusing people that bought from you already and you're giving them a good service, you're giving them a good reason for them to actually buy from you, then it gets easier. Paid ad, target the right audience and maximize your ROI. Important, because there's no point you running paid ads to people that are less likely to buy from you. So you got to target the right audience, and the target people that you know have the kind of interest that related to what you're selling. You know their age, you know where they're located, you know what's important to them, the motivation, who they're following, celebrity, and so on. And the website optimization, create a seamless shopping experience that converts visitors into buyers. So a lot of people have websites. They'll tell you, oh, yeah, I've got a website. Oh, yeah, I can do a website for you. But if that website is not collecting you sales or conversions or leads, or you feel like people are never going to a site to visit it, it's always on zero, people don't know whether they're interested, then that website is not well optimized. That website is as good as you not having a website. So you need to work in understanding what can you do to improve the conversion rate. For example, that could be you getting better pictures. That could be you getting more videos. That could be you getting a longer description. That could be you getting let me see another example. Using more SEO and keywords on the back end of your store. That could be an example. That could be you adding more blog articles on the other side. So the logo for you to really trying to improve the likability of getting people to actually buy from you. But the number one tip is getting more traffic. So if you're only getting 10 people per day, you won't get any sales, to be honest. But get more traffic. Get at least 100, 200, 300, 500 people every day. Because out of the 100 people, you're going to get about 1 to 3% conversion rate, which means about 10 or 12 sales within that particular number of 500 people to your store. So now that we spoke about all these guys, your next step is for you to apply these strategies to scale your brand profitability. Trying to see what can you do to start managing your inventory in the right way. Trying to really analyze what's working, what's not working. And don't be emotional about it. Don't be thinking, oh, but I really like this one. If something's not selling, let it go. Put it on clearance, promote it, and once it's gone, do not restock it. Trying to see what's your hero product, what people are actually liking. It may not be what you like, but doesn't matter, because it's not about you, it's about your customers. If a customer said they like one particular thing, the best you can do is to listen to your customers and get that thing to them again. Your content to be good. I'm not gonna say to you, any picture is fine, just take a picture, put it out there. That's a lie. Nowadays, content is the currency of social media. If your picture or your video is not looking good, if it's ugly, people will not look at it. They'll scroll past. If you just do the bare minimum with your content, like maybe you just say to yourself, you know what, I've got this, I've got half an hour right now. Let me take a picture, put it on my table, and so on. That is not good enough. We need a natural body wearing that particular item. We need some accessories. We need a bag. We need shoes. We need some sort of confidence within those items. So that'll make it a lot more likely for people to stop scrolling, to look at it, and then decide on what to do. We can't control people's activities online, but we can guide them. We can definitely guide them from one side onto the other. So your content needs to be good. And you don't need to spend so much money on content. You can just go on Amazon, buy quick lights. We can also buy those small lights that you put on the phones as well. So buy one of those lights and then take pictures when it's really bright during the day. Get some makeup done, hair, get like a whole outfit done pretty much, put the bee on for an effort, and then start taking pictures. And then think about the kind of scenarios that your customer will be more likely to be. For example, currently coaching a student of mine who is creating a brand that's very much for faith related, for women that are very much into and going to church basically. So she did say how she was concerned to create an outfit that may not be really ideal for the kind of environment. But because now we have understood exactly how we're going to create our brand identity to reflect that directly, we know that all our content is going to be very much around that. So, for example, something like, oh, I'm going to pick up my kids from Bible classes, or I'm going to help out the children from or orphanage, whatever the case is, because we know we're trying to attract our own type of customers, those kind of women, those kind of target audience. So that is the power of you understanding your customers, your brand story, and creating content that is compelling enough for those customers to take action. Your content need to push these people to take action. It's not all about selling, because even just getting people to come to your store, it's already a winning step. When they come to your store, ideally, there should be a pop-up icon to get people to come and put their own email addresses in there. And then when they do that, when they find put their email address in there, you can start sending emails to them. Something like, hello, thank you for joining our own tribe. We're so excited to have you on here. Here is a 10% discount code. Use it within us to take our blah blah, etc. Whatever the case is, and then now you can start creating a whole email sequence for these new individuals. In each email, you want to make sure you're adding a link for them to click on the link and they'll be able to kind of really just buy what they want to, just browse within your own website. And then being able for you to keep on it over and over again. It will take a bit of time for you to get it all right, but the key thing is for you to start quickly, fail quickly, so making mistakes really quickly, learn from it, and then try to do it over again. Don't give up. Please don't give up. Even if you feel like you're launching a collection and not really doing as well as you wish, it just means that people are not saying it enough. Nowadays, Instagram and Facebook is only showing your content to less than 10% of your audience, which means you need to work extra hard for people to see your video and your reels and your posts. So if you learn something today and it's not really doing really well, don't worry. It doesn't mean that it's ugly. It doesn't mean that it's not good enough. It just means that people are not seeing it. I want to try even harder to make sure people can see it. Even though when I work with my students, I tell them to avoid this happening. We start working together for like about 2 or 3 months in advance, so we can start creating a pre-launch list and get people excited before we launch. So on the day that they're actually launching, they're always making money anyway. But if that's not the case for you, just gonna try to go back to your drawing board and see what can you do to avoid that happening again. Number one is making sure people know about your launch, because nobody is gonna buy from anyone for any brand new brand who we don't know who they are, we're not seeing their faces, we don't know what they're looking, we don't know where they're located. All we know that they got a new brand and they're launching. People know there's a high number of fraudsters on the internet. People know there's a lot of Chinese brands that are starting out these Instagram pages with over 100,000 followers, getting to follow them. You buy on the stores and then boom, you don't get your order. So because of that, they're a lot more wary in spending money. And the sad reality is that if you have a black-owned business, people are even more wary to shop from you. So we need to work even double to gain the trust and the credibility. But either way, it's still feasible. You still make it. It will still end in praise. But it will take a bit of time, a bit of effort, and a bit of strategy. Which is why I'm going to tell you guys now about my next coaching program.